Good afternoon, Care Center students and friends. I'm Tara, the poetry teacher and poetry program coordinator, coming to you from my kitchen dining room. I'd love you to hang out with me for a minute as I practice some new technology that's sharing the screen while I'm talking on a video chat. So practicing technology and telling you about today, which is April 1st, marks the beginning of arguably my favorite month, Poetry Month. When Joy Harjo, the newest U.S. Poet Laureate, was interviewed by the Academy of American Poets, they asked, "Why does poetry matter?" In part, she responded, "Poetry is prophetic by nature and not bound by time. Because of these qualities, poetry carries grief, heartache, ecstasy, celebration, despair, or searing truth more directly than any other literary art form. It is ceremonial in nature. Poetry is a tool for disruption and creation and is necessary for generations of humans to know who they are and who they are becoming in the wave map of history. Without poetry, we lose our way." Today, to start off Poetry Month, I thought I'd share with you one of my favorite poems called A True Account of Talking to the Sun at Fire Island by Frank O'Hara. It was first published in 1968 in the Paris Review. So I'm going to click on over here to my poem. Well, not my poem, the poem I'm about to read from Frank O'Hara. And you can follow along. A true account of talking to the sun at Fire Island. The sun woke me up this morning loud and clear, saying, "Hey, I've been trying to wake you up for 15 minutes. Don't be so rude. You're only the second poet I've ever chosen to speak to personally. So why aren't you more attentive? If I could, I would burn you through the window. I would to wake you up. I can't hang around here all day." "Sorry, son, I stayed up late last night talking to Hal." "When I woke up Mayakovsky, he was a lot more prompt," the sun said petulantly. "Most people are up already, waiting to see if I'm going to put in an appearance." I tried to apologize. "I missed you yesterday." "That's better," he said. "I didn't know you'd come out. You may be wondering why I've come so close." "Yes," I said, beginning to feel hot, and wondering if maybe he wasn't burning me anyway. "Frankly, I wanted to tell you I like your poetry. I see a lot of my rounds, and you're okay. You may not be the greatest thing on earth, but you're different. Now, I've heard some say you're crazy, they being excessively calm themselves to my mind, and other crazy poets think you're a boring reactionary. Not me. Just keep on like I do and pay no attention. You'll find that some people will always complain about the atmosphere, either too hot or too cold, too bright or too dark, days too short or too long. If you don't appear at all one day, they'll think you're lazy or dead. Just keep right on. I like it. And don't worry about your lineage, poetic or natural. The sun shines on the jungle, on the tundra, the sea, the ghetto, wherever you were. I knew it and saw you moving. I was waiting for you to get to work. And now that you are making your own days, so to speak, even if no one reads you but me, you won't be depressed. Not everyone can look up, even at me. It hurts their eyes. Oh, son, I am so grateful for you. Thanks. And remember, I am watching. It's easier for me to speak to you out here. I don't have to slide down between buildings to get your ear. I know you love Manhattan, but you ought to look up more often and always embrace things. People, earth, sky, stars, as I do, freely and with the appropriate amount of space. That is your inclination, known in the heavens, and you should follow it to hell, if necessary, which I doubt. Maybe we'll speak again in Africa, of which I too am especially fond. Go back to sleep now, Frank, and I may leave a tiny poem in that brain of yours as farewell. Son, don't go. I was awake at last. No, go I must, they're calling me. Who are they? Rising, he said. Someday you'll know. They're calling to you too. Darkly he rose, and then I slept. So that's one of my favorite poems from Frank O'Hara. Thanks for listening to that. If you have a moment and would like to play along and share your favorite poem in the comments, that would be lovely. Or a link to your favorite poem. It would be super appreciated so we can keep sharing poetry in this time. Thank you for listening, and please stay well. And I hope I'll be back to you soon with some other poetry kind of things. Take care.